Now, one place, of course, where its citizens will not feel entitled to health care will be in a new city that is being purchased, I believe, from the country of Honduras. Yes. A private city in Honduras. Story comes Fox News from last week, of course. Honduras has agreed to let an investment group build an experimental city with no taxes on income, capital gains, or sales. The unnamed town will become a Central American beacon of job creation and investment by combining secure property rights with minimal government interference, says investors. Now, you know what I love about this story is it shows the absolute delusion of libertarian right-winger types. Once we provide a sound legal system within which to do business, the whole job creation machine, the miracle of capitalism, will get going, said Michael Strong, CEO of MKG Group, which will build the city and set its laws. Now, of course, I presume that the MKG Group will have a sole monopoly on the power of the use of force to get people to subscribe to their laws. But people will have the ability to buy in and decide whether or not they're going to accept those laws. So there's going to be informed consent. Our goal is to be the most economically free entity on earth, Strong said. There will only be a tax on property. Honduran leaders hope the city will lead to an economic boom for the poverty-stricken countries south of Mexico. The average income in Honduras is $4,400 a year. So you understand what's going to happen here, right? Let me see how I could draw a picture of this. Imagine a castle with big walls. The people inside the castle will be a part of this magical city that will run on laws developed by the investor. And everybody who enters into the castle walls will be protected. And their little property, their little rooms in their castle will be taxed. And there'll be no taxes beyond that. And they'll all subscribe to the walls and to the rules. And then outside of that castle, outside of the moat, maybe that's around there, there'll be the peasants, the poor people who will live outside of it. And that's where all the labor will come from. So that the rich people living inside the castle, well, they'll just do their work that really doesn't have anything to do with supporting the self-sufficiency of this supposed self-sufficient thing. And they'll, once a day, roll down the drawbridge, and the peasants will walk in. And they'll work for a gold doubloon or whatever it will be. And they'll walk out into their fields and their outhouses, if they're lucky. And that's how the magic of capitalism will support this city. The laws in the city will be separate from those in the rest of Honduras. Strong said the default law will be enforced in the city that will actually be based on Texas state law, which has relatively few regulations. The rules for immigrating to the city have yet to be finalized, but are expected to be loose. My guess is, if you can afford to pay, you can get in. It'll be designed to be very welcoming to those with the minimum threshold of skills or capital. So I imagine the threshold of skills will be, can you work a computer? Can you day trade? Can you walk yourself and order something from a cabana boy? And do you have over $1.3 million or some odd figure that will make you an appropriate citizen? In other words, this is the perfect libertarian paradise because it's only for free people, for rich people. It's a free market paradise where rich people will benefit off of the the labor from really, really poor people. To ensure the city against political change, the Honduran legislature has agreed to a two-thirds majority will be required to interfere with the city. So you have a sovereign nation giving up autonomy over part of their sovereign nation to essentially a gated community. This probably won't end well. First, we will build the critical infrastructure, roads, water, power, sewers, Strong said, which I imagine everything will show up right to the door, right? I mean, in other words, they're not really building the infrastructure. They're taking the last leg of it. In the same way, if you were building like a cul-de-sac development and you're going to put 6 houses there, you don't have to build the infrastructure that brings the water and the electricity right to the end of that driveway. You just have to bring it from the street. In collaboration with the Honduran government, we will then create the city's government system and security. And 3 to 6 months after that, we will build the first factories. So there'll be a couple of factories. I wonder the percentage of people who are working the factory line, if they'll come from the city. My guess is no. Teofilo Colon Jr., who runs the Garifuna Cultural Group because of course there are locals who are concerned this is going to destroy their world. I can't help but suspect the promise of plenty of jobs is nothing but a Trojan horse. The prospect of setting up a charter city with its own laws, is sovereign to itself and doesn't have to pay taxes, is a dubious one at best. It'd be tantamount to inviting pirates to come in and have free reign to essentially raid the country's resources and riches. Indeed. Well, it's the libertarian paradise. I hope they enjoy it. It's the old feudal system come back. Unbelievable.